Bieda, Gaming Show. Nie wiem jak włączyć napisy. Niestety. Tak, jest niby CC i... Ten moment. Boże, jaki paździerz. Co jest grane? Co za interfejs z tyłka? Ej, dobra, ktoś się zna jak to wyłączyć? Closed captions, dobra, jest widoczny.
Hey
Okej, sorry.
everyone,
Dobra.
welcome to the PC Gaming Show 2022.
Okay.
I'm Day 9 still, one of your hosts, joined again by the amazing
Dobra.
Mika Burton. Hi. While we may look like elaborate Unreal Engine renders, we are here in the flesh, as is the hardware, bringing you the best and brightest in the world of PC gaming.
Over the next 2 hours,
Miło, że
we are
ktoś
going to
zarabia na tym
showcase
show, no
a
ale...
metric ton of killer upcoming PC games through world premieres, exclusive interviews, and a few surprises along the way. And you, the folks at home, might even be able to win yourself a
Day
fancy
Night jest
computer if you
Europejczykiem?
play
W sensie jest
your cards.
Brytyjczykiem?
And now
Czy...
you may remember the last time you saw me on this
Czy
show.
to jest Amerykanin?
Quite literally explosively.
Yeah.
There was a robot who tried to destroy the human race, electrocuted me.
O
I
Jezu,
think
nie.
I died.
Definitely died.
Either way, I'm not really sure. It was standard robot apocalyptic stuff, just minus the overbearing anime dad and existential crises.
Yeah, well, actually, what happened to DevBot anyway? Wasn't he supposed to come back for this show for
Yeah.
like Revenge of the DevBot? Ah.
Well, he's dead.
Oh.
We melted him down to try to make our own graphics cards since they're still hard to find, and I would say he's in a better place.
Okay,
But I
czyli
played Cyberpunk
nikim-
2077 and he's not.
Nikim nie zasponsorował tego nowego segmentu filmowego.
But none of that matters because the show actually took place in a parallel reality.
All right, so you're telling me there's actually a multiverse?
According
Straszne
to
to
the
jest.
writers who told me this 5 minutes before we went live, I am saying there's a multiverse.
All right.
We're now apparently on Earth 3, which
Ooh.
is not to be confused with E3 because this show is still happening.
Oh, and we are so thrilled to be back as a part of this.
Szczerze lepiej, nie? Poczekamy, aż dadzą zwiastun. Nie wiem, czy wytrzymamy. Wytrzymamy pół godziny i potem obejrzymy na Reddicie, jakie były zwiastuny. Okej?
Rated N for mature.
0 oczekiwań. -1 oczekiwań. Nie. Nie. Firmy, których nigdy nie znaliśmy. Mi się wydaje, że nie warto. W sumie Final Fantasy VII Remake jest na PC-cie, nie? Gdzieś tam wyszedł na jakimś epiku, jest hejtowany i tyle, nie ma optymalizacji.
Between death and transcendence, a chimera chooses death. Show us what you've got!
Nie wytrzymamy przy tym.
May the judge have mercy on your souls.
Ani to gameplay, ani klatki.
You're here with me.
I always will be.
As long as we are together, we're not going down. They wanted yet another monster. They shall have one.
Gdy zbyt dużo emocji w tych Solstice. Było Solstice, teraz jest Solstice. Nic nie wiadomo, co to za gra. Chyba, że już była pokazana, czyli tylko to jest zwiastun przypominający, że ona istnieje. PC Gaming Show, tak? PS5, Xboxy. Early Access PC Demo, jak się zarejestrujesz, nie chcę. Tak, jest słowo soul. O Boże. Chodzona bijatyka z ich uniwersum? Chyba tak. Czyli klon, jak to było? Castle Crashers. Pewnie roguelite'owy. Tak, roguelite'owa bijatyka, tak bym zakładał. Ale nic nie wiemy. Tak, 2077. Czy to jest, uwaga, nie, dobra, są Tactical Bridge Wizards. 5 lat powstaje już. To jest gra z humorkiem. Na komórkę super. Dobra, to są stare gry pokazywane. Nie wiem, czy jest sens to oglądać. Na komórkę to będzie super, no ale... Tylko mówię, to zwishlistuje od 5 lat.
You
Co?
just saw Tactical Breach Wizards, a turn-based game of sorcery and SWAT team strategy from the makers of Gunpoint and Heat Signature.
Sorry, muszę się oszczędzać.
Abra Cadaver. Get it? Cadaver, dead body. Next, we have a solution to the age-old problem of not having time to read and play video games. Just do both at the same time, obviously. Star Wars Industries has you covered with their sci-fi thriller inspired by Stanislaw Lem's novel, The Invincible. So here's your first look at the first ever gameplay footage.
A, ta gra ten, tak?
You. What have you done?
Unreal Engine 7.
Where are you taking me?
You came here yourself, so what are you expecting, huh?
You've set up a field camp down there.
Yes, ma'am.
So I didn't expect you to have a second one here.
Really?
Sit here and don't dare move. What are you doing here?
You're not gonna like this part.
Wow, pierwszy gameplay, super. A nie, dopiero będzie, okej, wow. Serial był dobry na tym, chyba... Na czym był serial? Na Amazonie. Zobaczymy, czy gra będzie spoko. Hehe. Tak, przepraszam.
The radiation level is growing rapidly. It's starting to get interesting.
I'll pretend I didn't hear that, Doctor.
To jest symulator chodzenia, nie? Tak. Tak. No. Czy to na VR? Chciałbyś? Nie, to jest...
I located the mobile antimatter cannon.
Another one? How many of those did they... Is it active?
Dead.
I admire your composure.
Wait, someone's here. Astrogator, they're dead.
So you found someone. Unfortunately, such unpleasant discoveries are indispensable to the mission.
I didn't let that thought get to me. I was counting on this meeting very much.
To jest
At
Firewatch
worst,
w kosmosie.
It could have been another abandoned place, but not this.
But what exactly?
That's a good question. I'm getting into the recorder. What do we have here? Uh-huh. They made their way through with a beam of antimatter.
How subtle. Did you locate this passage?
I'm looking at it now. They pierced a hole several meters in diameter and several dozen meters long.
Jasna, do you hear me?
Yes. My head feels like it's bursting from pressure.
Can you continue?
Yes. I'm better now. Actually, there's nothing here that I haven't seen before. There are a lot of metal bushes that were near our camp. The lower parts of the bushes are... how to put it?
Słyszę Bushes, to słyszę ten teledysk z tym Joda i... Bushes of Love to było, nie? Z takiego...
This robot looks like it has started its task and got stuck.
What task?
This is one of the robots carrying containers with research material. It took the container, but never left that place.
Why do you think it's stuck?
Well, it goes in circles using the same path. The robot's gone,
You must have broken his loop.
but I didn't.
Well, he must have done something. Never mind. Follow it.
Jezu, jak to ścina.
Fuck! It's getting up!
What, a robot?
No! Antimat!
Come on, Jasna. Run. Hide. Jasna, are you alive?
Yes, it's fucked up the robot.
What's it doing now?
Oh no! Take care of our people, Novik.
No, fajne, fajne.
It's time to take a pit stop at the nearest dungeon to prove that chivalry isn't dead. And if you think I emphasize those words weirdly,
Boya mieli
right.
tam, teraz
And
zwróćcie
it'll all
uwagę.
make sense momentarily when you see these next 4 games, especially when you hear from our friends at Tripwire Interactive. Roll that beautiful footage.
You? Nah. You don't have what it takes. You'll be back here too scared to try again. 'Cause the dungeon will turn you into lunch meat. Unless you're way tougher than you look. We got the guns, the turrets, the upgrades.
Ty, Perferot bardzo
What you
ładny.
really need is guts and skills. Grab your posse and say your prayers. Be the
To już
first
było, nie? Widzieliśmy to.
to die. To give your feedback. Do you have what it takes?
Nie, wymiękam.
Welcome to F1 Manager 2022, the ultimate F1 simulation, putting you in the position of team principal at one of the 10 current F1 teams, battling it out for a chance to be the next world champion. Choose your team and drive every decision that leads to you making your mark on the grid, and hopefully the podium. Winning championships depends on your ability to make the right calls on and off the track. During
Czy gra
races,
jest
you'll
spoko, tak, ale
mastermind
to
strategy,
sobie po prostu oglądasz
plan
szybko
paths
zwiastun,
to each
sprawdzasz i
driver,
tyle.
and make changes on the fly when necessary. Issue driver callouts, such as instructing them to
Było
attack
kilka
or
takich
defend,
tych
manage their tire wear and
menadżerów
battery
formuły
usage,
wcześniej.
or even to avoid battling a teammate. All while reacting to dynamic events like race incidents and fluctuating
Ludzie
weather
grają w
and track
futbol
conditions.
menadżery, zakładam, że to jest też fajne.
Between race weekends, you'll control every detail of your team from your state-of-the-art headquarters. Hire best-in-class staff to work across your aerodynamics and engineering teams and put them to the task to develop your car and prepare new parts for upcoming races.
Tak, w tej grze Kubica będzie mógł rządzić.
Optimize your finances to keep the board happy, improve and maintain your facilities, and scout talent from F2
Czy to jest
and
Motorsport
F3
Manager?
to
Nie
try
grałem w
and
Motorsport
ensure future
Managera, więc
success.
nie wiem.
They say knowledge is power, and keeping a close eye on a plethora of realistic data will help give you the edge. From the finer details of how car parts affect overall performance, to a track's expected grip level, to the condition of your wind tunnel, how you analyze the data and choose to spend your resources will make or break your progress. You'll find depth and detail in abundance, even down to real-world team radio messages between drivers and engineers, and race commentary from David Croft and Karun Chandok, while broadcast-style presentation showcases 2022's striking new car design with real trackside and onboard camera angles. Sleek management menus and intuitive controls will drive the immersive F1 fantasy home as you plan and execute the perfect strategy in F1 Manager 2022. Pre-order the digital version now for early access from August 25th.
Idziemy chyba na Feniksa.
Hey everyone, after 1 year of
Wow.
Chivalry 2, we've more than doubled the size of the game, and now we're excited to bring even more knights onto the battlefield. Because today, right now, Chivalry 2 is out on Steam with crossplay between all platforms.
Czekaj, możliwe, że otworzyć małe okno pop-up i odpalić coś na całym ekranie. Jak to się robi?
We want to thank our community for making the game the success that it's been so far, and if you haven't played it yet, now is the best time to check out Chivalry 2.
To.
Take a look at our new trailer that shows off the new update and its Nosian invasion.
Teraz poziom głośności jakby wyregulować. To jest genialny pomysł. I teraz uwaga. Ty, to jest genialne. To jest genialne. Dobra, mamy to. O Jezu, dobra. A to jest jeszcze lepsze. O, damy alt enter. Będziemy się przełączać, jak coś będzie, nie? Ale tutaj mamy...
In what may be the hottest year in history,
Po kliknięciu można dać sterować... Okej, super, super. Wow. Jest coś fajnego, że to jest Chivalry, przecież to już jest na PC-tach od 100 lat. Porcupine, nie grałeś, to na Steamie nawet już jest. Okej. Przecież to jest Chivalry 2, przecież to jest na PC już. To są zwiastuny gier, które były. To nie Chivalry 2, co? Co to jest? Chivalry 2! Kto to napisał, że to nie Chivalry? Zaraz, kto mnie okłamał? Ja ci dam, sekundę.
Hi everyone, I'm Phil from Sweet Bandits, live from Quebec City. Really glad to be here today for the PC Gaming Show. We'll be showing the first trailer for our
Nie, no to jest...
Deceive Inc. It's a multiplayer competitive...
Czekaj, Deceive Inc.
to use social stealth, high-tech gadgets, and powerful spy abilities to try and get the upper hand. We've had the chance of working with Tripwire Presents on the project, so this is only the beginning. Please follow us on social media at Play Deceiving to learn more. We'll be releasing the game in early 2023 on PC, Xbox Series S and X, and PS5. Thank you so much.
Patrz, zobaczcie, no macie. Zwiastun, tak. To też już było przecież.
As you know, Deceive Inc.'s company policy is to deploy multiple agents to ensure the mission's success. But only one will get the paycheck. Do whatever it takes, Agent, and be careful out there.
Try your best. Let's see if it's enough. Booyah! Cha-ching! Oh, come on. They can't be this fast.
And they thought it was secure. In the end, I am victorious.
They're really not gonna make it easy for me. Gotcha.
Is that it?
Right on target. Outskilled and outgunned.
It can't end like this.
Dobra, bardzo fajna gra. Nie?
Target acquired. Moving to rendezvous point.
Ale my musimy się skupić na czymś innym. Jesteśmy na etapie, kiedy Linka ma zabić przyjaciela. I zobaczmy, czy jak podejść tutaj, będzie miał większą szansę. Okej. Mamy samochodzik z bombami. I poprosimy, by go przywalił tutaj. Boję się, że nie trafił w nic.
Crunch time.
To jest... Jezu, chciałem tylko ściszyć. O. Jezu, nie trafił koleś, tak? Czy jedną nóżkę urwało, ale to zbyt mało. Cóż, mniejsza z tym. Buy power. To jest reklama, więc oszczędzamy sobie oglądanie reklamy, która jest żenująca. Tak, Dream PC, nie. Teraz tak, ty strzelisz tutaj. I oni cierpią i ty prawdopodobnie zdychniesz. Tak, uszkodzony, zniszczony sprzęt, świetnie to wyszło. Jest duże krwawienie, które uwielbiamy. Mamy ludzika, którego jeszcze wystawimy do naszej przygody gdzieś. Kurde, dałbym ją... A, tylko może wyjść ten i ją zabić. To jest berserker zapomniany, ale chyba, że nie ma broni. I nie ma niczego. Ty, zniknęło, nie? Dobra, nudzi, okej. Patrzcie, RTX 390. Czat zasłania? Okej, niech będzie. Niech będzie, że wam wierzę. Sorry. To jest koniec story, tak, trochę niżej. Już będzie zaraz profesjonalnie jak w studiu za 100 000 złotych. O. No. Ten ludzik krwawi i cierpi, nie ma niczego. Jakby teraz tak, kobieta tutaj zaskoczyła. To kobieta z armatą. Musimy zacząć pomagać cywilom w tym momencie, niestety. Ty jesteś Cecylko nieuzbrojona zupełnie, nie? Tak. Więc może wyjść jakiś dupek i cię skrzywdzić, czego byśmy bardzo nie chcieli. Dobra. Czy ta gra jest fajna? Niestety tak, ja ją bardzo lubię. Tam jest ich 3, niestety znamy cheaty. Z czego nie jestem zadowolony. I nic nie możesz zrobić, bo ci niestety to jest tak. Czy ty przeżyjesz to? Tak, ale nie jesteś bezbronny praktycznie. Elmirko, czy jesteś w stanie... Wykryto jednego z jełopów. Jakby mu zrobić pięść. Elmirko, możesz teraz umrzeć. Zwiastun jest jakiś?
Instead, they unleashed a pestilence on our
Czy to nie jest...
No one yet knows if you can kill a god. I, for one, intend to find out.
Baba z tym... Widzicie, no i co? Jakbyśmy teraz siedzieli jak debile, byłbym smutny. Wy byście byli rozczarowani, a tak patrzcie. Skupiamy się na co się dzieje. Mamy 3 ludzików w środku. Jednego ledwo żywego na zewnątrz, którego pasowałoby jakoś sprytnie dojechać. Tak. I mówiąc sprytnie dojechać.
Acquiring targets.
Niestety głowa predatora przetrwała. Jesteś trochę wstrząśnięty.
I'm listening. Relocating.
I teraz wydrzemy ryja. Co pozwoli nam zaprowadzić tutaj do środka jedną z moich ulubionych postaci. Wchodzimy. Flintlock. O, to ci gadanie jest teraz, dobra. Wow! Okej. Mordowanko intensifies.
Looking for an angle.
No.
Got you good.
Okej.
Here. I've got this.
Mamy ludzikę, mamy dużą panikę, jeszcze jednego gościa z silną psychiką. Jakby zabić tego, możliwe, że trochę by mu zeszła. Żeby go zabić. Zeszlibyśmy tutaj i walnęli z granatnika z tak małej odległości, jak bohaterowie. Modląc się, żeby nie było żadnych cywili. Chyba nic się nie stało, nikt nie zginął. Ty panikujesz, ty masz strzelbę. A ty czekasz. Wyjdzie jakiś wariat tędy? Strzelasz. Że idziemy do roka. Ale bardzo słusznie, nie mówię, tu nic nie ma. Jest raz. Co to jest? Porcupine, czy chcesz reklamy wizy? Tak? Przecież to jest bez sensu. Szanujmy się, to nie ma nic ciekawego już teraz, tak? Obejrzeliśmy Xboxa, Xbox był własnym programu. Tak? Daj spokój, że tutaj już nie ma nawet gier. To jest tyle zakupy mango, tak? No. No widzisz, wraca tam nudziarz i będzie ten... Co ty? No. Proszę, specjalnie dla was. Tak, tak, mamy pieniądze na full motion video. A nie, to jest animowane, proszę, proszę, z budżetem taki ten, jakiś pewnie ten Baksik im to robił. Nawiązanie do początku Cyberpunka. Nie, dobra. Bomerzy płaczą. Już widzę, jak branża by sobie gratulowała. Ale żeś Karol wymyślił zajebiste. Słuchaliśmy to w gimbazie. Nie, Boże, dobra. Ale Zachód pochwali, wszyscy pochwalą, że zajebisty zwiastun, tak? Tutaj nie przychodzicie, by się cieszyć. To faktycznie jest Kiciński. Już widzę, jak w premierze ustawiał, żeby słowa piosenki pasowały do tego momentu. A mówię. Mamy to.
Joining us now to talk about what we just saw all the way from Poland is Tomasz Kasilewicz of 11.
Polaków mamy na co dzień, okej? Dobra, to są chcecie podpisy? Błagam, kurde, przecież to z 5 minut, nawet gdzie, minuta czytania na Wikipedii wszystko wytłumaczy. No. Okej, dam wam głośniej, ale po prostu...
So what's the player's goal as they're progressing through the story?
So you are a space builder stranded on this distant planet, and your goal is to survive and find a way back home. But the thing is, in order to do so, you need to create those altars, as each one of them have different set of skills and character traits. So these are things necessary for your survival and finding a way back home.
So from the trailer, tonally this could be a horror, a thriller, a mystery. What should players expect?
Actually, there are bits of everything you mentioned. Like, there is this mystery as we're looking deep into the soul of the character. But what you find there can also be pretty scary. So there are those beats of psychological horror and drama. But then on top of it, we have this quite thick layer of surreality. I mean, how surreal would it be to one day, you know, wake up next to a little different alternative version of your very self?
Now, there's a quote that you shared with me earlier, that man cannot remake himself without suffering, for he is both the marble and the sculptor. How does this quote relate to the story?
So this
Jak tam? Wszystko już wiecie?
relates directly to
Trudna
the main
fabuła?
theme of our game. We as people, we are shaping ourselves every single day with every single decision that we are making. This process, the whole process of becoming who we are, it can be quite painful at times. But in our game, Jan, the main character, he has this unique possibility of not only shaping himself, but also reshaping himself a numerous times with every single altar that he is creating.
Z którą frakcją trzymam? Kodziarzami, czyli... jak oni się nazywają? Sorry, mam tak zryty teraz mózg.
Well, it is very classic sci-fi in a way that we are taking a relatable
Nie Jaśko.
and we are using the sci-fi
Snedrion.
theme. We are
Dziękuję
using
za
the
odkrywkę.
sci-fi setting
Snedrionie.
to look at it through the magnifying lenses. But then when we're choosing the tools, this is a very contemporary game, and we're taking advantage of what video games are as a medium. So we're using tools like systematic design and non-linearity in order to put the players in the middle of the experience, and in the end, allow them to create their own stories inside the game.
I wanted to ask a little bit about the relationship of your previous titles to the alters, whether there's any narrative or themes or even just influence that those games had on this one.
Ty umiesz krzyczeć,
The
Boże.
Alters is purely 100% our game, 11-bit Studios game, and it's created in line with our meaningful entertainment philosophy. So it's a game we hope that it will make you think even after you stop playing it. This War of Mine was this first huge milestone. It paved the way for all the future titles. And with Frostpunk, it was taken to another level with the strong focus on the emergent narrative. And now with the Alters, we want to follow that path, but we also really want to push the boundaries
Dobra, rączkę.
and expand on how we approach meaningful topics
Bo broń
inside the
wymaga
design of our
2 rączek do użycia.
Thanks so much again to Tomasz and the whole team at 11
Ty, nauczył się po polsku Tomasz. To było imponujące.
And while I try to find enough Rapidium to make it through day 1 to 8, let's head on over to Mika Burton and keep things rolling like a massive space
Jak tam?
station.
I co, dowiedzieliście czegoś?
K9.
Jezu, nie.
Honestly, I need to look into getting myself cloned so I can make time to play.
Oj, co tam, ciekawa gra, fajna? Coś się dowiedzieliście? No, słucham. Mamy teraz czas na dyskusję, jesteśmy wspaniałym klubem dyskusyjnym Jadisko. No, co tam, Tomasz, tak? Opcje, różne wersje siebie. Tak? Lepsza od Feniksa. O, była bardziej dopracowana. To sprawa, niestety Feniks... Kurde, no to są smutne gry, tak? Zarówno, nie mam jak bronić zarówno Feniksa, jak i tej gry pana Roberta na przykład. Real Reason. Uwaga, czym jest Real Reason? Uwaga. Krew. Flaki. Czy to jest Destiny? Widzicie stąd z daleka. No, poznajecie. Trój ludzików walczących w tym. Czy może Outridersi, których widzieliśmy? No. Macie ten, po jednym pikselu, no. Outriders, dobra, Zygfryd. Słucham, no. Outriders jednak, okej, dobra, tak. Teraz drugie pytanie, czy to już było, tak? Ale to już było. To by było nawiązanie subtelne, nie? Gdyby była piosenka Maryli Rodowicz, tak? Ale to już było i nie wróci więcej. To by było hipsteriada dopiero. Oj, ty masz taką brońkę. Prawdziwe sudoku to jest tutaj właśnie. Jak zaatakować tych pajaców? Żeby... Teoretycznie możemy rzucić jakoś tak i on by trochę dostał. I trochę cierpi. Nie bardzo, nie dużo, ale trochę. Emilko, moja ty kochana. Jeden paskudny ludzi, który wyjdzie nas krzywdził. Ej, raz się musimy dojść do adding. O, to jest ta fajna gra, tak? Kupić symulator czy coś, nie? To już też było. No i loading. Kurde, głupio wyszło. To już było, nie? Ten jakiś symulator tego alchemika. Potion Craft. No właśnie, ta gra już jest, nie? Liczba recenzji. Po co to pokazują? Wiem, bo nie mają co pokazywać. Masakra. Tak? Może była w Early Accessie? A wychodzi z Early Access. No, A2, dziękuję. Tu napisało sobie Gregon. Dziękuję za wartościowy wkład w naszą wspaniałą dyskusję. Dobra, jest tak. Zostały nam 2 ludziki siedzące w nudnym pokoju, próbujący zabić naszych tych. Nie, nawet 2,5. 2,5 ludzika. Co za wspaniała gra to jest. Chcecie zobaczyć jakieś pieski, kotki? To gra dla was? No. Giant Hole. Oj, kurde, niestety ten safe scamming się zrobił potworny. Ej, Linka, czy ty go nie widzisz? Tam jest człowiek? Widzisz. Jakbyś go tak zabiła. Jesteś upośledzona, Emilko. Tyle ci mogę powiedzieć niestety.
Let's show 'em what we can do.
No i powinno ją zmieść z planszy elegancko. Jest trochę zszokowana, trochę dziwna, super. Jakbyśmy ją zabili, gdzie mi ktoś wpadnie, ktoś się zaszokuje, a ktoś... Okay. Mamy jednego spanikowanego ludzika. Co tam? Nitro Kid? Coś było fajnego? Jest demo już, możemy sprawdzić, chcecie? I tak jest XXI wiek. Nitro Kid. Demo. Oj, roguelite deck builder set in neonowe 80 lata. Zbuduj swój ten. Zobaczmy, pierwszy to jest najważniejszy. Gigabajt. Już moim zdaniem nie warto, ale jesteśmy tutaj dla was. Co to za piękna gra tam leci w tle? A deck builder, coś tam na tym, okej, super. Makuła Disco Elysium, Boże. Najpierw to, okej. Że się da podwójnie w pop-upa myszkiem. Wow, zarąbiste. I tak się wraca? Kto to napisał? Flashowy, dziękuję. Super. I teraz przerywnik? Nie. No. Co to może być? Kino. Czyżby to była gra, Rick? Nie, nie, nie. Nie. Ty, dobra, okej. Przypomina jak to było się nazywało? Cold Fear, nie? Nie, co ja gadam. Zapowiadało się spoko, ale wygląda no... A, Killing Floor 2, dobra, przepraszam.
And now it's time to give you an exclusive briefing on what's next for one of PC gaming's titans of modding, simulation, and scale.
O Jezu.
Arma 4. Last month, developer Wonzia Interactive by releasing Arma Reforger on Steam in early access.
Oj. Załóżmy, że jesteśmy głupi, to posłuchamy.
For Arma 4. And with it playable on Steam now, we have a ton of questions about the future of Arma. I mean, after all, this is the series that helped birth the survival genre through DayZ. Oh, and also this other little niche genre you may have heard of called Battle Royale. To help us peer into the future for this project, we've got none other than Bohemia Interactive. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah.
So as of right now, Arma Reforger has been out for about a month. What is it that you've been learning or seeing from players?
At first we've learned that players
Zostawię wam głos, okay? A ja próbuję rozwiązać sudoku, które przybliży mnie do pokonania kosmitów w tej planecie. Tak, gracze lubią modować, nie wierzę.
Immediately started flooding internet with videos, playthroughs, and praise of our new technology. So we are very glad that
this better work. So there's no doubt players who have been longtime fans of the franchise stepping into Arma Reforger, and I'm curious, what were some of the big challenges of rebuilding that specific
to są, oni są Czechami, ale dobre pytanie, które tam zatrudnili teraz.
It's a very tricky subject because even internally it's an ongoing kind of fight. So I'm myself very much on the very purist side of things. So no HUD, no save games, no superficial helpers, and this fight can get very intense.
Moje duchowe zwierzę.
So I'm the real Arma purist, and I'm on this for 25 years now. So I will keep fighting, but obviously this is part of the fun. So this
Arma purist.
Battle. I think 2 years ago we really struggled to keep it Arma and even internally preserve our own standards, so do it our own way rather than replicating what's maybe normal in other games, because our goal is not to make the same game as all other games. So our goal is to remain unique.
I'm curious if you can speak to what the main goals of Reforger is, because it's a little unusual compared to other releases. I mean, for instance, how much content should a player expect if, say, they've been playing Arma 3 for years?
Our goals were, of course, to restart the series from technological standpoint.
I hope
really
this helps.
make room for some new achievements. Utilize the technology, both in terms of how it looks like, how it's controlled, how it can be.
Tam się stało coś
It's
dziwnego.
important to understand. It may look as a kind of normal game on the surface, but there's a big system behind it. So just the tool suite is a massive tool suite, never tested by a large public. So it's premiere.
Teraz najważniejsze. Czy jesteśmy w stanie mu trafić w rękę?
Nearly 5 years now, so we really need users to start using them to keep improving and continue building it.
Sorry to interrupt, but we have one quick question from the Arma fans. Has Russia's invasion of Ukraine impacted your approach to Arma 4 and Arma Reforger, a game that depicts the Cold War?
No.
Well, yes, because it's extremely close to us. We even live
extremely close to us.
In a way very nearby, so definitely. On the other hand, we started work on this many years ago, so the direction was set before. But we always approach conflicts and armed conflicts with a great level of respect. We're still at the beginning, but we definitely would like to continue with our exploring this serious theme.
Arma, as I see it, has always been a bit more of a anti-war game. An entertainment product.
Arma jest antywojenną grą.
Fair thing to admit. On the other hand, given the topic, given our, let's say, maturity and long time we've spent on it, and our ambition to portray it as a whole very complex and gritty thing, I would like us to contribute by not just entertaining people, but also educating them on the subject. This was the whole point of starting the cooperation with the international community. I believe we have great potential, big responsibility in this era, and a very important chance to contribute at least a little bit to the good side of things.
This would not be an interview about Arma unless we were
On będzie w stanie jeszcze wystrzelić niestety.
So many amazing games and genres came from Arma mods, so I gotta know what's possible in Reforger that wasn't possible in the past.
Now with this technology, it's possible to create entirely different things, like entirely different games. It has so many variables, but the beauty now is that much more of it is user accessible, unlike the previous games. So people can easily digest how this is constructed in our workbench tools. So unlike previously where it was more hard-coded in the C++ engine.
Nie wiem jak on strzela, skoro ramię ma zabite.
Every single element of the game and go much deeper than in previous games. So this.
Teraz tak, zwróćmy uwagę, zapiszemy to. Powinien nie być w stanie odstrzelić. Okej, udało się.
What expectations should players have about performance leading into Arma 4?
Arma 3 was built on foundations laid down in times of single core and no GPUs basically, so this time much more computations and intensive rendering things can be done directly on GPU, but it required completely new approach.
Again, we are in the beginning and we know that there are problems and difficulties, but we are solving them one by one. We are really gathering feedback, even our own.
Dobra, głowa kontuzjowana, ludzik kontuzjowany.
And yeah, it's about optimization. It's not that much about FPS, but also for network traffic, for instance. Then you have this massive multiplayer game.
Tak, jaka to jest sytuacja? Punkty woli 3. Czy jak zejdą do zera, to on raczej jeszcze nie będzie panikował.
Thank you so much again, Bohemia Interactive, for giving us the inside scoop on both Arma Reforger and Arma 4. Now, you don't go anywhere because here is what's around the corner.
Uwaga, najlepsza gra teraz.
Just around the corner in the PC Gaming Show, prepare to experience terror ranging from the subaqueous to the subconscious with the latest from Shiro Games. Hold on to your butts because front-end development spared no expense on the new Jurassic World Evolution 2 expansion.
Shiro Games to nie są ci, co zrobili Dune?
Alex Levitation, a special project from some very talented modders.
Jezu, mody reklamują tragedię, nie, dobra.
While we're here, quick geography question. Which parts of the world use the most bandwidth for gaming? Answer this question for the folks at Compass Data Centers and it could win you a $500 Razer gift card. Scan the QR code on the screen to enter.
Last year, Shiro Games debuted War Tales at the PC Gaming Show, but the publisher has a lot more than its medieval sandbox RPG. Next, you'll hear what's up with Shiro's slate of projects, and stick around for the debut of 2 completely new games, Decarnation and Abyssals.
Hey everyone, thank you very much for the invitation, Mika. I'm James, and I can't wait to show you everything that we've got prepared for you today. So it's been a crazy couple of months for everyone here at Shiro Games.
Dobra.
With Doomspy's been a successful release in the history of the company, and it's entirely thanks to all of you. But today, let's look at Doomspy's multiplayer mode.
Jezu, widzicie to? Dostał w ramię, dzięki czemu nie zabił naszej postaci. Czy ktoś jeszcze tutaj ogląda z nami? Wspaniałe emocje, które... Jezu. O. To była dobra akcja. Do takich akcji właśnie lubię te gry. Northgardzik i to wspomniał w swoich dwóch grach. Okej, zrobiliśmy kolejną ważną misję. Dune pokazują. Nie widziałeś Dune, co? Graliśmy w nią kiedyś. Czemu te misje tyle trwają? Myślenie, jak ktoś szybciej myśli, tak, to ma... To gra się speedrunuje 20 minut. Z tym robimy już parę dni. Okej. Mamy naukowców. Zdobyliśmy personalne dane. Odszyfrowaliśmy informacje. Nie mam pieniędzy, żeby... Jest bieda. Czekaj, pokazywałem Dune przed wielką konferencją. Może nie, dobra. Okej, na produkcji jest tak. Samochodzik. Czyli tak, pomogliśmy tutaj. Musimy od razu lecieć do Izraela. Tak, gdzie mają jakiś problem. Niestety nie ma dla naszych bohaterów chwili wytchnienia. W tym się badamy ulepszoną strzelbę, to jest bez sensu. Co nam pokazują? Ty, coś nowego. Jakie brzydkie.
Deep below the waves of this strange new planet.
But soon,
brzydkie, bo to jest już zdjęcia z gry są. Okej.
It was not the dream world we had hoped for.
When faced against the darkness of the abyss, we found ourselves helpless.
Lost.
Okej, fajny motyw.
Isolated.
Tak, że będziemy mieć jakiś ten city builder, tylko że z motywem światła jak w Alan Wake'u, zakładam. Oj, 2044, to jeszcze trochę mam czasu. Jest jakie piękne. A co mogę się zobaczyć? Patrz. O, takie same jak w tej grze od 11 bitów. Artysta się naprawdę. Shiro, skąd oni byli? Z Niemiec? Z Francji chyba.
You just saw why you were exactly right to be afraid of the ocean in Abyssals. And you confronted your inner demons in the retro dream horror of Decarnation. Next up, how do you rebuild a city in a world set after the collapse of civilization?
Jezu, było to już, czekaj.
Let's find out how by taking a look at I Am Future from Tiny Build.
A nie, dobra, kolejna gra, bo było kilka takich poapokaliptycznych city builderów. Nie wiem, czy tylko to jest 20 klatek.
Warning. Hibernation aborted. Your total hibernation time was 6 years, 6 months, 5 Welcome to Eden, your new home.
Okay, survival czy city builder?
I have no idea where the hell I am. But damn, this place is gorgeous.
Wishlistujecie na Steamie?
Our forefathers conquered Calderia and bestowed it upon us, a new generation, to share or spar over.
Our great houses seek to obtain the Emperor's favor, cultivating our lands and subjects. To improve and enrich
Berserkerzy, pozyskiwanie jedzenia.
of course. Prominence can be secured through
Eros,
strength
sik.
as well as delicacy.
Will you be able to build your legacy of power?
To jest ulepszenie flar, których chyba nie używam.
The great houses of Calderia.
And now, for these next trailers, it's true. They do move in herds.
Dobrze, w porę. Sorry, że was nie zabezpieczyłem przed tym. Berserkery 5. Kampsuły. Aha, jeszcze raz. No, co to za gra? O Jezu, to jest Park Jurajski. Dobra, okej. Ta gra już jest na rynku, bo prawie. Okej, technologia bioniczna. Co to waszym zdaniem jest? Integracji ciała z istniejącą to dodatkowe rozwiązania dzięki ratowaniu cybernetyki. Nie wiem, czy chcę w to iść. Kurde, boję się niestety ich Chcę, żeby to byli normalni ludzie, tak, jak nasi dziadowie i tak dalej. Kap książąt to też mnie nie interesuje. Podoba mi się, że jest dużo elementów rozwoju, trzeba wybierać, tak? Nie ma tak, że się odblokowuje wszystko. I to jest bardzo piękne w tej grze. To mi się, czekaj, w więzieniu na żywność, to jest ciekawe. Produkcja grzybów, Pandronie. To jeszcze raz. Żywność z grzybów. Zakład produkcji żywności jest dostępny do budowy bazy Feniksa. Okej. To jest piękne. Możemy zrobić sobie hodowlę żercia, tylko gdzie to będzie sprzedawać. Berserkery. Co tam teraz leci? Tree, Optium. To jest to jest ta gra, która była już 100 razy na tych targach. System Shock. Po jednej nutce. A, no, Shodan mówił w tle. Może już wyjdzie w przyszłym roku.
Look at you, hacker. A pathetic creature of
Run.
meat and bone.
Tak, running
How
through.
can you challenge a perfect, immortal machine?
Nowy tekst nagrali. Tak miało być?
An insect. You are nothing. I create.
U was też tak jest, czy tylko u mnie?
I fuse flesh and steel into.
O, F, oj. No. Ale widzimy efekty. Tylko u mnie. A, trzeba powiedzieć tylko u mnie, Jezu, okej.
What an incredible and frankly horrifying trailer. Developed by Night Dive Studio, System Shock is the return of a beloved, acclaimed sci-fi saga. Today, to take us even further inside the world of System Shock, I am thrilled to welcome the one and only War Inspector.
A, żyje! On jeszcze tutaj, on to robi?
In terms of trying to translate the experience of a game from 1994, 3 decades later to now, what doesn't carry over well?
The first thing is the graphics, obviously.
Boże, nie, jakie pierdzielenie, dobra. W stylu pytań mówi, że grafika będzie lepsza.
And the other one is the user interface.
A, nie tak miało być.
When the game opened, the original, a help screen that came up, and it filled the entire screen with text.
Tak było.
It's just a thing. I don't know how the guys like that did it. It's amazing. But frankly, as I think back on it, the game actually holds up pretty well. I'm excited to see it come back.
Just wondering if you think many modern gamers are aware of the impact that System Shock has had in terms of gameplay systems, in terms of narrative structure, on so many games that came after it.
I'm not sure people see the influence, which is a little unfortunate. But I think the rest of the world is going to get the chance now to experience it, and I think they'll see not just that they're having fun playing this game, but also see that other games followed in its footsteps.
Nowadays, we walk around with computers in our pockets. We're worried about the evil of
Kierunek Izrael.
How do you think about a character like Shodan in 2022?
Gdzie Lady Shark nie ma w tym roku.
Far too close to reality to me right now, and let's just hope that she doesn't show up as nasty a form as she did back in.
Czy zdążymy?
Well, Warren, I wanted to thank you so much for joining us, and I want to let you know I cannot wait to return back to that world I played and enjoyed so much as a kid. Cheers.
Yeah, I can't wait to return to that world. I forgot
right?
basically way more about the game.
Nie, odpadnie tak, dobra.
So it'll be a new experience for me too.
Thank you so much again, Warren Spector, for joining us to talk all things System Shock. I personally can't wait for the game to come out, though. It might completely ruin my sleep schedule, but before I spiral further, here are some more games to cram into your eyeballs.
Ty, Jezu, jełop tej data. Możemy zrobić save scamming. Co tam pokazują, sekundę. To jest ta gra, to jest ten RTS w kosmosie? To nie jest Homeworld, przesunęli go. Te frontiery, no. Albo to jest ten XCOM w kosmosie. A nie, dobra. No, Falling Frontier, no dobra. Wishlist, no szkoda, że nie ma dema. To widzieliśmy, nie? Jezu, tak! Nie! Nie! Okej. Szachy dla mnie. Jest tak, jeden mutant. Schwytaj syrenkę, powstrzymaj inwazję. I najgorsze, że tutaj siedzi paskudny samolocik. Tak czy siak. Mantykora, ty byś zabrała tych paskudów stąd. A ty... Tutaj zaraz zacznie atakować jeden samolocik z pupy. I to pasowałoby bardzo ogarnąć. Jest, leci. Możemy go przechwycić w drodze, niestety. Co jest takie sobie. To widzieliśmy, nie? Co to była za gra? Moment. Super People, tak. Uwaga. Ale nie widać, co jest. Co powie Dejnajnik. Kochany.
Or a lamp. Make sure you're staying hydrated, replenish your potions, and most importantly, keep letting us know what games you're excited about using hashtag PC Gaming Show. I mean, personally, I can't wait to play The Altars. Good. Now that we're all rested up, feeling good, it's time to enjoy a slice of that lovely cyberpunk life, courtesy of Nivalis, and experience the investigative horror of immortality, the latest from the mind of Sam Barlow.
Sam Barlow, co to było? Nie jest twórca przygodówki?
I believe we have a short clip here. Do you want to tell us what we're about to see?
Well, I don't want to spoil things too much.
Dobra, to jest ten gość, który zrobił Her Story, nie? O Boże. Ta. Ta.
Does this work as confession?
Tak, Her Story, dobra. Fajna gra na religię akurat.
Now it's worth more.
Did you ever read his diary?
Myślałem, że zdjęcie fryzjera, okej.
We can take a break. We should take a break. No, we can go.
Hey, boss. Time to wake up. We got customers waiting. What do you mean you don't know where to start? Let's clean this place up. Move some chairs and tables around. We can make this place shine again.
O Boże, kolejny symulator.
If the weather gets bad, we can grow some veg in the greenhouse. Once we start making real money, well, then you can rent that fancy new apartment in Midtown. So make friends, make enemies. Give customers a route, just turn on the old charm. Or water down their drinks. I'm not your conscience.
A prawa spoko, ale...
This is a world to explore, to make stories. Your
A
stories.
nie, moment. Myślałem, że to jakiś symulator budowania barów w świecie cyberpunkowym.
Well, if you dream big enough, maybe you'll find out. Maybe we all will. Welcome to Nivalis.
Hi, I'm Marco.
And I'm Roman.
At Ironlands, we are big fans of cyberpunk fiction and games, but we have our own ideas of what a cyberpunk world can be. This is a game in which you manage your restaurant, bar,
No,
nightclub,
dobra. Okej.
take care of your staff, make deals, farm, and experience the stories of the people you meet.
Or maybe you just want to take the day off and go fishing at the docks instead. Nivalis primarily uses voxel art for the environments. We spend lots of time creating a unique atmosphere with high levels of detail and dynamic elements.
Wygląda na łatwego.
We are excited about the cyberpunk world we built,
Jezu.
and we can't wait to
Kazałem ci
see
muzykę
what
wyciszyć.
you'll make and how you'll choose to live your life when you come visit us in Nivalis. You can wishlist Nivalis now on Steam and
Jezu,
Epic Games Store.
jakim Golop jest debilem. Jeszcze raz. Jak to nie jest muzyka, to co to jest? Nie efekty. Golop jest debilem. Golop jest debilem. To wstyd. Wyłącza muzykę, ale nie muzykę. Tragedia. Nie. Wstyd. Wstyd, panie Golop. Trójka jest tu, tak?
Get ready to overclock your eyeballs.
Masakra.
Because this next trailer is coming in hotter than my computer with 3 Chrome tabs open.
Ona w ogóle nigdzie jej nie ma. Nie ma jako efekty, nic. Premiera światowa. Co to będzie waszym zdaniem? No? Po jednym pikselu zaczniemy. O Boże. Haron Gaming, tak, niech zgadnę. Uwaga. Chybiło. Będziemy musieli się wycofać niestety. Mamy dużo chybień. Potem wchodzi napalmiacz, który ma 100% trafiania. Czekaj, czy widziałem 25 minut marcowego gameplaya Shadow of Doubt? On był na Steamie, Zinob. Jak to jest z marca, że to musi być stare. Dobra, zniszczyliśmy to. Gdy wycofanie trochę potrwa, mamy najbliżej tutaj. Ty lecisz do tu. Wracamy.
You just saw Demon School from Welsh developer Isbrid Games, and now
Welsh.
it's time to take a bit of a spooky transition. If you're at home, turn on all the lights in the room.
Yeah.
Make sure the salt circle is unbroken, and check to see that your door is properly painted with sacrificial lamb's blood, because things are about to get certifiably terrifying. Let's look at the H.R. Giger-inspired biopunk horror Scorn.
Scorn. Nie widzieliśmy jeszcze tego.
And decayed. A grisly nightmare of macabre perception. Greetings.
Szczęść Boże.
I'm your host, Doug Bradley, and I invite you to join me as we explore Scorn's mesmerizing labyrinth of odd forms.
Po co ten głos jak w cyrku dla dzieci? Lektora dobra jest strasznie źle.
In the middle of a desolate hellscape.
Gość całe życie bajki czytał.
Biomechanical contraptions, part flesh, part machine. An industrial civilization now lying in decay and ruin. A hidden fauna sleeps within the underbelly of the world.
On to czyta jak bajeczkę przecież, co za dramat.
More than to be left undisturbed.
Nie, no serio.
Scorn has been carefully crafted with great attention to detail.
Czy to jest polska gra?
Everything is focused on building a specific atmosphere. From a unique organic ecosystem to an unsettling soundscape created by Ethek and Lustmord. Scorn has no dialogue, so most of the storytelling comes from the environment. Discovering the ever-present symbiotic relationships and how things are connected equips you with the tools to progress. While there is shooting within the game, Scorn is not a shooter. Every encounter must be carefully
Ładne stopy.
considered. A wrong choice could be deadly. I hope you've enjoyed this glimpse into the twisted world of Scorn. The team at Ebb Software can't wait for you to uncover the secrets of this unique world as you experience Scorn firsthand this October. Are you prepared to unravel your inner
Co za
self
tragiczny lektor.
within Scorn's world of horror?
Czy to jest Biomutant? Jezu, nie, dobra, nie wiem kto tam to zrobił, to marketing. Tragedia.
Now, while I've been delightedly playing Dune Spice Wars, harvesting melange, and trying to figure out how to pronounce Quisatz it doesn't matter. I'm equally ready to turn hordes of Tyranids into a Jackson Pollock painting in Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2. In this brutal third-person shooter, you once again step into the oversized power armor of Titus, an elite Primaris Space Marine in a galaxy immersed in a never-ending war. To take us further inside the grimdark, I am joined by Tim Willits and Oliver Hollis, the creative director.
Ty, Willits, to jest gość z tego, z id Software.
Yes, thank you. Thanks for having us.
Jeszcze żyje.
Now, Tim, I want to start with you. You previously worked at id Software on Doom. How would you say the Space Marine compares to Doom Guy?
That is a good question. I bet many people did not know that the original Doom guy was actually a Space Marine, inspired by an even older Space Marine, which is the Warhammer 40,000 Space Marines. So, you know, it's really exciting for me to work on Space Marine 2, you know, because it's a great franchise, and I know that it's inspired so many other video games throughout the last 25
Jak coś ten,
absolutely, and there's so much lore to sift
Irbacy Light lepszy od AirPodów u mnie przynajmniej.
The new Space Marine that you're going to get to play, a Primaris Space Marine. Oliver, talk to us a little bit about Captain Titus and what makes this class of Space Marine different from the others.
Trafił elegancko, dobra, mamy go.
So the Space Marine is a brainchild of the Emperor, the kind of leader of this of humanity in the grim dark future. He saw the dangers that the universe presented, and he created a super soldier from his own DNA. And each of these different factions, these different chapters, have different genetic traits of the Emperor. But what makes the Primaris a guy named Belisarius Core, the Emperor's kind of chief scientist, went back, did some digging in the old data, and found a way to enhance the qualities that a Space Marine has by installing new devices, new kind of bio implants in their body. So now these guys are 2.5 meter tall monsters capable of destroying anything in their path.
Nikt nie wytłumaczył.
Me of the 1,000 times I have rewatched the Astartes animation.
It's amazing.
It's so exciting. It's so exciting that we now get to be in that position to play that kind of character. And in the trailer, we saw a lot of Tyranids. Are they the main enemy that you're going to be against? And if so, what
Snedrian jest wdzięczny.
In this particular game, the Tyranids are the main focus, and what makes them compelling is that they are extragalactic, locust-like creatures. They've come in from goodness knows where. They spread like wildfire. They devour everything in their path, and they leave nothing in their wake.
So one of the great things about the Tyranids is they come in the thousands.
O Jezu, wybory. Nowy gatunek rośliny.
Proprietary engine, the Saber Swarm engine, can deliver these epic
To są trudne wybory
battles.
teraz.
Now we will have thousands of Tyranids, and you will rip and tear through them all.
I mean, that is so thrilling, because this is the sort of thing that
Teraz tak, to pewnie pozwoli na jakieś globalne wygranko, a to na mikro wygranko. I nie wiem niestety co to daje.
So the combat in Space Marine 2 is a mix of in-your-face melee combat along with some really cool over-the-top weapons.
Dawaj kontrolowanie.
You know, we looked at, you know, the original Space Marine game, where
ktoś z was na wiki wiedział, o co chodzi z tym?
Combat, which has inspired many other video games, but that never stop, never take cover combat is integral to Space Marine 2, along with, you know, these
żeby rozpraszać, ale czemu?
powerful weapons. So
Czy nie lepiej ludzkości dać kontrolować ekosystemy? To i to brzmi tak samo, tylko może jakoś to jest inny wpływ. Kurczę. Że mgła wróg. Nie, ale to jest nie takie proste w tej grze.
Right at the beginning of the project, Tim and I went to the Warhammer Museum, which was an incredible experience. And you go around all these cabinets where these incredible miniatures
Oni się ucieszą z rozpraszaczy? Nie, dobra, ale...
You find yourself kind of crouching down and looking into the ranks of Space Marines that are facing Tyranids or Orcs or whatever. And something that Tim and I said at that moment was, we need to make this come alive. I don't want to look at this, I want to be inside this. I want to be gunning down Tyranids by the thousands. And so seeing that actually happen.
Tak, ja rozumiem, że będę mógł montować rozpraszacz, ale co daje mi to? Że pewno nie ma znaczenia.
When you're wielding one of those massive weapons and you're faced with 1,000 Tyranids who all want to eat you alive, and you're just letting rip, and you can see shell casings bursting out of these massive weapons one after another. The sound, the gameplay,
Aha, dobra. Rozpraszacz pozwoli na pokojową koegzystencję. Moim zdaniem syf. A to odzyskać, ja bym odzyskał kontrolę. Aha. Dobra, dzięki, Baton.
Now next, we have a few more surprises for you up the sleeves of our proverbial power armor. First,
to jeszcze lata, Boże.
P6's homage to the golden days, or should I say, golden eyes of 90s console shooters, and an atmospheric sci-fi adventure on the Red Planet from Frontier Developments and Kyoken Interactive. Let's take a look.
Jezu, 2 razy klikam, przepraszam was. Boże, nie. Kurde, co to się... Boże, jakie tandetne. Jezu Chryste, jakie słabe.
Sarah? Ryan? This is Kathy. Can you hear me? Please come in.
Mission Opera has only one objective. Bring the Arks and their revolutionary technology back home.
Here we go, Opera Team. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step.
I need to know that when we get there, you'll make the right decisions. We can do this.
To już było, nie? Widzieliśmy tę grę z babą.
What do you expect to find on Mars?
Dostarcz nam Marsy. Snickersy lepsze niestety, mi się wydaje, ale Mars też... Dobra, że tandeta, 27. To będzie jakiś Tomb Raider na Marsie.
Hi, my name's Elise Chappell, and I play Kathy Johansson in the out-of-this-world sci-fi epic Deliver Us Mars.
Wracaj do teatru.
Join Kathy and the crew of the Zephyr on an unmissable adventure as they journey to the Red Planet to recover technology vital to the survival of Earth and humankind. Deliver Us Mars is set to land on September 27th and is available to pre-order now on PlayStation, Xbox, Steam, and the Epic Games Store.
Stay a while and listen. To this list of games still to come, the team behind Half-Life Alyx Levitation will put their mod where their mouth is, and then it's paradox time. Not as in us creating an actual time paradox, we're going to show you the latest from Victoria 3. Plus, you can literally scare your entire butt off with the creeping horror of Gloomwood. All this and more in just a moment, but first, a final pop quiz for all you Valorant, CSGO and League of Legends players. How much has esports revenue increased since 2006?
Więc tak, Tytanek lata cały czas. Mamy nową misję, Biogeneza, która jest niestety relatywnie daleko. Pasuje się przegrupować. Lecisz do bazy zawieźć zwierzęta. Produkcja trwa, badania trwają. Dostaliśmy oddziały telepatyczne, krojenie ludzików musimy zrobić. Ogólnie jest spoko. No. Frost Giant. Oni co zrobili? Jezu, przepraszam, noszę się 2 razy. O Jezu, o Jezu.
2 years ago, our team assembled with a shared vision to build a brand new real-time strategy game.
Jak zobaczycie gameplay, to spoko, ale nie słucham tych głupot. Będą opowiadali, że się lewym klika i chodzą, prawym się atakuje i tak dalej. Tak, RTS, to będzie morda. Nie, teraz jest jeden screen, który mają. Nie. To ten filmik, tak. To te odpady z Blizzarda. To są goście, którzy nie chcieli wejść do pokoju Billa Cosby'ego i teraz ten... a zakończono dostępne. Czyli tak, produkcja żywności z grzybów. Mi się wydaje, że trochę przewalam pieniędzy niepotrzebnie. O co chodzi z tym Cosbym? Nie wiem, miał taki program kiedyś, tyle. Jakby co... Dobra, jest tak, ty przepędziłeś diabła. On teraz najdzie tutaj miasto i rozpierdzieli, bo niestety, nie wiem, nie mieliśmy wtedy tego atakującego jednostkę. Co to był Oscard? Jezu. Lecimy tutaj, cokolwiek to jest i tak musimy zaraz odpocząć. Co to jest Oscard? To jest kolejna misja tego. Feniks Pąciarzy. Dobra. Bastion zaskarżony. Rozpoczęli nalot, Pandorianie. Gdzie? Jezu, moment. Okej, tak się składa. Inwazję wroga mamy. Aktywne latające... O Jezu. Musimy coś przepędzić niestety, tak? Trudne wylosowało. Nie wiem, czy to są dwie jednostki dosłownie? To jest ogólnie ciekawa kwestia. Co mi teraz pokazują? Cały czas tą strategię, nie? Tak, to jest ten koleś. Dobra, to już dzisiaj nie będziemy dużo grać, tylko sprawdźmy, jak czym jest ta misja ta na przykład. Ślepy legat. Synedryn pracuje nad oproszeniem mgły. Okej. A, dobra. I tyle, tak? Nie. I mamy tak. Jezu, mieszają się polskie nazwy z angielskimi. Dobra. Wrócimy do tego jutro, bo widzę, że to jest zbyt dużo hardkoru. Ładowanie oczywiście tego, że wychodzimy.
By the units, so you really get a sense for how to enjoy the game.
And I'm curious a little bit about that core gameplay, because obviously in all these modes you're going to be collecting money, building bases, building units,
Escape from Tarkov to taki Daisy. Escape from Tarkov to jest Hunt.
Really good and really smooth to play is super important. Now obviously I come from a time where if the pathfinding is bad, we call that high skill opportunity. But I mean, how do you think about getting the controls, the motions, just the feel of the game to feel good in 2022?
Yeah, it's interesting that RTS is one of the only genres I can think of where you have to have hundreds, even thousands of units synchronized over the network and responsive in a way that high skill, like pro esports players feel good about playing the game. That's not easy. It does require custom technology. There's no engine that you buy off the shelf that does that for you. So we definitely started knowing that and having the benefit of our chief architect, James Anholt, who
Sprawdź pliwki, kto tam pisał?
previously on
Do Lomi,
StarCraft
dziękuję, dużo
2.
pliwków, faktycznie, przepraszam.
We've put a lot of effort
Flashowy
into
coś
that,
pisał.
for sure.
And this is going to be one of the first major RTSs people are aware of that is on Unreal Engine 5.
O, chłopaki.
What is it like working in this next generation engine?
It's pretty incredible how far
Aj,
things have come
Flashowy chce
from a
gwiazdkę.
graphics
O
perspective.
Boże,
And I
nie znam
think
się na
the
tym.
art team is unlocked in
Czekaj,
so many ways
Benedict
by what
Fox to
Unreal
polska gra.
provides. So we're very
Okej, dziękuję
excited.
do
We're
Lomi.
still
Super.
learning everything that Unreal can do for us, but even that first cinematic that we debuted, like that's done in Unreal. So the high quality graphics that you're seeing are actually coming from Unreal as an engine.
So you've talked a little bit about, for new players, making the game feel a little more approachable, a little bit more streamlined, but obviously, StarCraft, real-time strategy, has this astonishingly long history as a competitive game, as an esport. And I'm curious, how is your team going to approach that?
So a lot of the emphasis around our thinking has been focused on what are things that we can add, especially around the gameplay experience. And one of those things is more seamless integration with esports. I mean, being able to sign up, participate in tournaments directly from the client in a way that gives players, even if you're not like top grandmaster, ready to take on Cyril, there's still an opportunity to be the best on your block or the best at your company or the best at your school. So we want to facilitate esports all the way from grassroots level up to the pro level directly in the client.
So, of course, in the history of RTS games, a really important component of them has always been mods. I mean, Warcraft 3, there's players that didn't even play the original game. They just did custom mode after custom mode. Does Stormgate have modding? How are you thinking about the modding community?
A number of members of the Frost Giant team actually came out of the modding community. The team as a whole is very passionate about it. From the outset, we started out applying resources to build a custom editor. I think there's a lot of opportunity to make improvements to the editing experience for RTS. We are also working on the infrastructure for people to be able to share their mods with each other. So it's really core to us as a team to enable modding, and we're absolutely working on it.
And of course, we have to end with my favorite question of all. When can we play the game and how do we play it, Tim?
So we are going to start our beta in 2023. We already have a site stood up at playstormgate.com to be able to register for the beta. We have a lot of active discussion topics on our subreddit as well, so there's an opportunity to participate in the dialogue around what we're building.
Tim, thank you so much for joining us again today. We just got a chance to talk about Stormgate, the upcoming free-to-play RTS from Frost Giant Studios. I'm personally super pumped to play it, and be sure to check it out at playstormgate.com. Now, Tim, I'm going to do a transition to the next game. Are you ready? This is going to be good. Watch this. It's going to be so sick. Next, we're going to show you Lesara, Summit Kingdom from Quite OK Games. Now, as someone who has spent a medically inadvisable amount of time playing strategy games of all sorts, this looks incredibly up my alley. And it looks a lot safer than my last attempt to create society in the mountains. 2 words to yodeling accident. Let's check it out.
W sumie fajny koncept. To jest dobry zwiastun. Nie wiadomo o co chodzi, jaki jest koncept, to jest spoko. Podoba mi się. Jak się nazywało? Lights, już jest pewnie, tak? To już wyszło, tak? No co jest gruby? Ojej. To jest fajne. A, tylko wyjdzie za rok. Jezu, okej, tu jest lepszy zwiastun. Tak, to jeszcze wychodzi w tym roku. To... Okej, dobra. Niestety Valheim lepszy. Próbowałem banić na Steam Decku. Mam go zainstalowanego, nie odpalałem. W sensie, że to stara gra. Ale działa, tak, już udało. Na Steam Decku wszystko działa, jakby co.
That was Frozen Flame, an open world
Nie dam ci
survival
szansy.
RPG.
Nie dam ci szansy, babo. Nitro, kilka te dema, tak? Podziwne. Czekaj, jedna mówi ojcowizna w blodzika. Nie, dzisiaj muszę spać. Ja na tym syfie miałem nie siedzieć. Żałuję trochę, że tu jestem, ale odkryłem tę funkcję, że nie muszę tutaj siedzieć jak przypał. Trochę sobie podmęczyłem tego Feniksa. Mam 77 godzin. Jesteśmy prawdopodobnie w 1/3 gry. Mam nową, fajną grę Arka swoją drogą. Okej, co tam teraz będzie? Nowa gierka. Jezu, nie tak. Uwaga. Światowa premiera.
If you could listen to the noise of history, then you would hear by the sounds of the Victorian age that the world changed forever. The roar of the engines, the bangs from new factories, and the cries in the streets.
A, Wiktoria trzeba. Nie znam serii Wiktoria.
In Victoria
Perfero coś pisze.
we simulate this era 100 years
A, żeby plik Hate Expo. Nie, dzięki, perfekt, bardzo ładne. Muszę zrobić sam. Że dema by się przydały na tubie. Tak, no może jutro się uda ogarnąć.
High and low, over cultures across the globe. They are the beating heart of your nation and form powerful groups with needs.
W sensie, czemu nie ma gameplayu?
Listen to their calls and let it influence reform.
Okay, yes.
Or turn a deaf ear to protect what is proven and stable. Your politics will decide where you want to go, but your economy, how far you'll come.
Jeszcze dopisać 10 lat strumieni. No, możemy na 10-lecie zamknąć kanał. To mi się wydaje, byłoby dobre podsumowanie. O, po prostu... To było spoko. Tak, nie warto było.
But you can decide when push comes to shove.
Że tyle pracy. Nie, to nie jest praca, to jest śmieciowy kanał. Ładna grafika. Chociaż.
The history of your world will be carved into the map. What will your society be like? What is the sound that will echo over continents?
Czyli szkoda czasu. Nie, na początku jeszcze trochę pieniądze zarabiałem na tym. Co innego można było robić? No, nic. No.
That was the gameplay debut of Victoria 3 from Paradox Interactive, a grand strategy game coming later this year. And let us take this moment to let you know you can wish us Victoria 3 by visiting the PC Gaming Show event page on Steam, where you'll be able to find every game featured in today's show. Type pcgamer.com/wishlist into your browser to be taken straight to there. And now on with the show.
O Jezu. FPS-ów. To jest ciekawe. A to raczej hipsteriada ten. To było fajne, ale to już nie wyszło, to już mi się nie chce niestety. W Duska nie grałem, to podobno ma jakiś sens, ale no... Za drogi.
What's up, PC gamers? We're back.
Jezu, nie, spadaj.
Now, what you just saw was everything New Blood's got
Yo,
going
yo,
on
yo.
for 2022. A Medieval to Black Labyrinth, Ultra Kill Act 2, Faith, Fallen Aces, and a brand new
Nikt mu nie powiedział, że to nie jest fajne.
Plus, bringing all new HD
Gdzie czapeczka na głowę, Boże.
Nobody asked for, so we're doing it anyway. Now, last year you might have noticed we teased a bunch of games here that we weren't ready to talk about just yet, and we're still not ready to talk about those games. But I want to let you know that yes, we're still working on a top-down shooter. Yes, we're still working on a Fallout-style RPG, my dream game. And yes, we're still working on a car combat game. But we're not ready to talk about those games just yet. What I want to talk about is Gloomwood. Now, 2 years ago, y'all straight up forgot to show the Gloomwood trailer. Last year, you bumped me so Gabe Newell could talk about a bunch of demos or some shit. This year, PC Gamer, you promised we would get to show Gloomwood, so I don't want to hear any bullshit. If you're on a Steam Deck ad right now or some shit, I'm gonna...
Steam Deck. Powerful, portable, PC gaming.
PC Gamer, you see this puppy? I will drown this puppy. I will, if you don't let us show Gloomwood, I am going to drown this adorable... I would never do that. Hi, I love you. So yeah, we good?
No.
Can we show Gloomwood?
Po co ty ludzie?
Are you sure?
Czy nikim nie ma rodziców, że mu powiedzieli, nie, to jest głupie.
Right. It's about time.
Mieszka sam w mieszkaniu, założy się, że nagrywa takie pierdolety. Masakra. To jest Thief, który nie wie, o co chodziło w Thiefie. To jest słodkie, ale w sensie gameplay był... O co chodziło w Thiefie, żeby skraść pieniądze? Aha, 120 zł.
There's only one thing I like more than playing New Bloods games, and that's probably the URLs they make for them. It wouldn't be a PC gaming show without the silliest, most ridiculous website names in human history. Which is why I'm delighted to share that next, we have a group of such games that run the gamut from medieval mayhem to an adorable animal fight club. And our first rule, we absolutely plan to talk about it.
Ten Gloomhaven, co to było, wygląda spoko, ale grało się w to tak sobie niestety.
Corrupted what? Why is it always doing this just when I need to showcase the game? Okay, I'm gonna take that. Have you tried turning it off and on again? Yes, I have.
The update to system 10.1.1
Wszyscy muszą być kurde z polskich kabaretów.
all your files.
Jeden chrześcijański zwiastun, to był ten właśnie ten tej gry City Builder na górze. A tak? To nie jest, czemu to nie jest jakiś wieczór kabaretowa, tak?
While I go rummage into the bin for it, please welcome my personal assistant. That will do a great job at pitching the game for you.
Z tego City Buildera nikt nie kupi. Wygląda fajnie, okej, no wygląda, ten czy gra się spoko.
Found it. Ah, ladies and gentlemen, the trailer. Okay, who had the amazing idea to save the trailer backup in 14.4 pixels? Do we have any ants working for us?
Ktoś się śmieje z tego? Kurde, że jest zajebiści goście.
The survival of thy noble family depends on their ability to rule the city, to fight with valor.
Clone Dwarf Fortress. Clone Dwarf Fortress.
If only it were that easy.
I don't know what you're up to, fuzzball, but back off!
Gregon bardzo ładny to jest. Ej. Tylko to z multi, tak? Dla przyjaciół. Jakby to była strategia. A może to jest strategia? Kojarzy się z tym, z Dungeon Keeperem, nie wiem czemu. Ta gra już jest.
That was the latest DLC for Core Keeper, the sandbox survival sim from Fireshine Games and Pugstorm. The Sunken Sea Biome update is available on June 15th for all...
Sorry. Niestety. Zdrowie psychiczne przede wszystkim.
Life can be harsh everywhere, but in the old world, there was no hope of it ever improving. When our crops failed, the ruling class would still collect the same share, leaving our children to starve. And if we had any coin to our name, the taxman would appear, demanding you for...
Tego już nie było przed chwilą, bo już Jezu...
The nobles hid behind the safety of their walls and did nothing when raiders pillaged the outskirts of the city. And so, some of us decided that it was time to leave, that we'd rather take our chances in the wilderness, seeking the promise of a new land, than starve to death in our homeland.
To są zwiastuny dla inwestorów.
The journey wasn't easy. We lost many along the way. This wild, unsettled land offers us the hope of a new start as the masters of our own destiny.
I nazwa, i tytuł, i koniec. Nie wiem, co to jest, nic. Inwestorzy to kupią. No. Dobra, to jeszcze 10 minut i koniec, mogę już jechać, nie? Boże.
What is below is destined to be understood. Our life depends on the whims of the weather. Our life is tied to this earth.
The water we harvest, the plants we grow, the air we filter. Any waste would be fatal to our survival.
We must learn to live in harmony with this world. For too long we have wandered without purpose. From now on, our city will be a source of hope.
Nie mógłbym na to długo patrzeć chyba.
understand our world, we must explore it.
We must find the tablets, the seeds of knowledge that bind all the elements together.
To build our survival.
To build our city. To live happily.
Litość
Welcome
gaming.
to Icarus, Prospector.
Jest nie.
A planet we almost lost.
To jest
then
ten
found a
cinkciarz
reason to stay.
rakiet. To już jest, nie?
Take it from me. This place wants you dead. But we've made progress. Learned the lay of the land. How to use Icarus to our advantage. Our friends at the UDA are offering up a slice, a whole new terrain. If you learn, build, and survive, maybe, just maybe, there's a future here. Think you got what it
Tak
takes?
samo odcinek rzeczywistości. Optymalizacja jest dla frajerów. Jak nie zoptymalizujesz gry, to jeszcze się potem podpisujesz deal z jakimś producentem kart i sprzętu, żeby gracze kupowali najnowszy, żeby im trochę działało. Masakra.
In the rich tapestry of the PC gaming community, modders are one of the most inspiring
Jezus, jeszcze mody na
subcultures. In
końcu.
fact, some of the most popular genres today started as PC gaming mods. Right now, modders Sean FMP1 Snelling and Corey Latto are making something incredibly special in the form of an ambitious mod for Half-Life Alyx. It's called Levitation. It's an original 4 to 5 hour campaign that builds on Valve's original VR game, Half-Life Alyx. With Alyx searching for a pair of rebels gone rogue, they've discovered a strange floating building in Sector X and decided to investigate it, against orders, obviously, and now it's your turn. Let's go back to the world of Gordon, G-Man, and Alyx with this exclusive gameplay footage.
Mody reklamują.
Alex, according to this old resistance map, there's a control room somewhere outside the building you're in. Sorry if that's vague, the map was drawn using somebody's blood.
Najgorsze, że to spoko wygląda w porównaniu z pozostałym paździerzem. Ale nie wiem, czy musi uparlić, żeby pokazywać gry w 12 klatkach. To jest totalnie... Trzeba mieć osobna kampania. Tak, jakiś modzik. Mody to cheaty, no więc...
Alex, I'm detecting an incredibly large energy signature up ahead. It's probably Gordon Freeman, and not anything bad at all. Definitely, probably Gordon Freeman.
Okay, so the plan is to get to that control room and get Gordon.
Oh boy.
crowded down here, Russ.
Czy to VR? Tak, na chwilę. Najciekawsza gra VR-u tych targów. Mod do Half-Life Alyx. W 12 klatkach. Tak, prawdopodobnie oglądamy... Nie, to mówisz, że ten mod jest na 40 godzin, ale... Strasznie to źle wygląda, strasznie to niski frame, to jest jakaś... Ja coś spierdzieliłem? Ja myślę, spauzuję i odpauzuję, może to jest jakiś mój błąd życiowy? Nie, tak źle chodzi. Masakra.
Oh, nice.
To wszystko było w oryginale. Żeby wrócić do Alexa, to jest zbyt duży symulator chodzenia.
Cells left. Oh boy.
Dobra, pożegnajmy się.
Well, folks, this is the end. We've learned a lot today about ourselves, about computers, about genetically engineered space marines. And with so many games on the way, there has truly never been a better time to be part of the PC gaming community.
Over the course of the last 2 hours, we saw games from developers all over the world, and we wanted to thank everyone who tuned in to watch the show. All the developers who shared their work with us, and of course, all of the partners for their help bringing the PC Gaming Show to life.
Indeed, remember to tip your servers, install your firmware updates, and tell me if you know where to find a 3090 Ti. Tell me immediately. Anywhere you can find one, let me know. And of course, a warm thanks to you again for joining us at this year's PC Gaming Show. It's something I look forward to every year, and we're thrilled that you joined us again. See you next time. Bye bye.
No dobra, my tutaj mamy 2 godziny bezwartościowego materiału, którego nikt nie obejrzy.
This is the official PC game.